Hey, what's up everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with Loopmasters. It's time for another Ableton Live production basics tutorial. In this one, I'm going to give you a very quick tip about volume automation. And before we jump into the tutorial, I just want to point out that the music you hear in the background came from a loop pack. It came from an entire song starter. It's called The Future of Modern Pop by TD Audio. I'm going to leave a link to it in the video description if you want this full set. There's actually 5 full song construction kits inside of the pack. So if you like these tunes, if you like what you're hearing, check out the pack. There's a lot more inside of there that I'm sure you're gonna love. So if you're new to Ableton Live, your first instinct is to come here into the automation line for the volume of the track and make some volume automation changes, like something like this, for example. I'm gonna dip down the bass line over here and then bring it back up. Maybe fade it in or something like this. And now I have this volume automation for this bass line. But the issue is, if I come in and start doing my mixing and I need to change the volume of this track, I can't. If I come in and do it now, you'll see that that automation line gets grayed out. That means that automation line is not gonna happen now. So what if I need to do stuff like that for multiple tracks that have volume automation lines on them? There's a couple of ways to do it, and I'm going to show you the best method. Before we do that, let's talk about ways to get around it if you hadn't done this to begin with. So you can just double click on that and come in and do the volume change here inside of the clip. But the issue with that is that if you have, let's say if I delete this part, now I need to make that change here and it's at negative 1.68, and then I need to come over here and then type that in here, negative 1.68. And you can see how if I have multiple sections of the clip throughout this entire channel, that's going to get quite tedious right off the bat. So there's another way to do it, and that's to use Audio Effects Utility and drop that on the channel. And then you can come down here and then just turn the gain down right here. And this is going to do everything relatively. And if I come in here and re-engage that automation, this automation will still happen, but the overall output gain of the channel will be controlled by this gain here. Now, that's kind of poopy, especially if you're coming in here and you're mixing using your faders over here, and look, it's gone grayed out again. It's just an easier way to actually get your balance using this sort of view here. And you can't do that if you're using your overall output gain with the utility on the channel. So what I would suggest doing, and what I do for all of my tracks, is take that utility, click the gain, do all of that volume automation with the utility gain. All right. And now that I have that volume automation there, when I come in to do my mixing, I can still use the overall volume here. If I'm doing it here and mixing the channels inside of the session view, I can do it here. And it's just a better way to get around having to deal with volume automation that actually happened on the master volume of the channel itself. It's a big workflow enhancement, trust me. Way back in the day when I got started, I always used to do my volume automation there, and then I wanted to change the whole channel's volume, and I didn't know what I was doing, and it just added pain to my life, pain and suffering. But knowing this little trick has saved me 1,000 times at least. So I wanted to share that tip with you. I hope it helped. I'm Joshua Casper here for Loopmasters. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.